The film opens with a young lady, Natalie, driving along the precipices of San Fernando Valley, 16 miles north of Los Angeles, when out of nowhere a stone slide pushes the vehicle, making it fall and afterward hang at the edge of a bluff. Minutes after the fact, Los Angeles local group of firefighters helicopter pilot Boss Raymond Gaines and his different partners axe the hero the young lady caught in the vehicle. Beam securely safeguards the young lady minutes before the vehicle tumbles off the precipice. In CALTECH, Dr. Kim Park gets information of minor tremors in Falco, Nevada, and shows it to his associate and seismologist Lawrence Hayes. The minor shakes measure 2.0 to 2.6. Hayes is interested about why such minor shakes can happen even where there are no flaws in Nevada. Hayes and Park choose to go to Nevada to find out. While Beam is calling his little girl, Blake, for an impending outing to San Francisco, he gets legal documents. As of late, he was separated from his alienated spouse Emma, and she is presently with her new sweetheart Daniel Riddick. In the meantime, at the Hoover Dam, Park alongside Hayes is presently trying an attractive beat of tremor. Unexpectedly, his gadget recognizes a spike heartbeat, and afterward a more grounded quake triggers. It measures 7.0, most noteworthy at any point recorded there. As the dam begins to break, Park battles to escape while Hayes tells individuals still on the dam to get off. Park presently leaves the dam office, but when he sees a young lady reluctant to continue on the breaking dam, he stops to get her and complete her. The young lady is saved, yet Park is pierced by a pole in his right foot. The dam totally disintegrates and Park is killed. The debacle prompts the flooding of towns. The seismic tremor is the most grounded and most damaging at any point kept in Nevada's set of experiences. Back in California, Beam shows up at his family's home to make arrangements for their excursion. Yet, Beam is gotten back to attempt to save fiasco casualties in Nevada. Daniel and Blake drive into San Francisco for a gathering. While Daniel is having a gathering, Blake meets an English person named Ben Taylor, having a meeting, and his sibling, Ollie. In CALTECH, the journalist, Serena, shows up and needs to talk with Hayes about what occurred in Nevada. Hayes expresses that they didn't realize there was any separation point there. He says that they ought to have the option to foresee a seismic tremor. One of his associate intrudes on Hayes and presents him with information showing the beat rates, recognized along the whole San Andreas issue. The beat rates are higher than Nevada. Hayes then, at that point, makes sense of for them why the tremor set off in Nevada even with no separation point. His hypothesis is to draw a separation point close to Nevada and it interfaces with the finish of the shortcoming limit. Hayes predicts that the entire San Andreas could set off. In Los Angeles, Emma is having a lunch with Daniel's sister, Susan, in a tall building eatery. After some discussion with Susan, Emma answers a call from Beam in the helicopter on the way for upkeep. Beam apologizes to Emma for what he did a day or two ago. Their telephone discussion is interfered with by areas of strength for the. Emma lets Beam know that they're having a quake and he likewise sees that the expressway is disintegrating.
Beam trains Emma to get to the rooftop for salvage. As per the CALTECH, the main serious seismic tremor topped at 8.5 and later 9.1. In Los Angeles, yet the entire of California, and the shutter is going to San Francisco, where Blake and Daniel are. While the following disastrous quake hits, individuals inside the structure alarm in dread. Some are harmed. Emma advises Susan to get to the rooftop, however she goes to the exit and is killed in a disintegrating floor. Emma comes to the rooftop, with the floor and the encompassing designs disintegrating around her. Emma figures out how to recuperate and rises out of the rubble. At long last, Beam salvages Emma and they scarcely escape as the encompassing designs break down. The entire city is currently totally crushed. In the meantime in San Francisco, after Ben's meeting, Blake acquires Ollie's book to think of her number in it for Ben to call her. Blake and Daniel are leaving the structure parking area when the quake hits. They figures out how to escape yet the roof breakdowns and they become caught. The flotsam and jetsam pounds some portion of the vehicle, catching Blake's leg under the driver's seat. Daniel goes to find support. As Daniel calls for help, The flotsam and jetsam falls close to him and kills a safety officer. Daniel escapes in dread as opposed to saving Blake. Nonetheless, Ben and Ollie are battling to save Blake as the flotsam and jetsam over her keeps on squeezing the rooftop. By utilizing the jack to lift the flotsam and jetsam, the driver's seat drives away, yet Blake's leg is as yet stuck. At last Ben pops the vehicle tires, bringing down the vehicle, and they salvage her. The threesome escape the structure as the consequential convulsion proceeds. The threesome chooses to go to the electronics store to contact Beam. At the store, Blake finds a telephone and she calls her folks, letting them know that she's not a problem. Likewise, she lets them know that Daniel left her. This drives Emma crazy and she leaves a frightful message on Daniel's voice message. Beam encourages Blake that they should get out right away and to go to the Koi Pinnacle as a meeting. Beam and Emma rapidly head to San Francisco to save their little girl. In the meantime, Daniel is strolling through the group in the road when abruptly another solid quake hits. The construction over the group breakdowns. To save himself, Daniel takes the protected spot of another person and the casualty is cleared away by the flotsam and jetsam. At the point when Beam and Emma are on the way to the city, the helicopter's motor falls flat, compelling them to make an accident arrival into a superstore in Bakersfield. As they attempt to take a vehicle, which is as of now taken, the cheat points a firearm at Beam. However, Beam figures out how to curb the culprit and they drive away. With the assistance of Serena, Hayes can caution individuals through news inclusion of a lot greater seismic tremor going to hit San Francisco. He advises individuals of San Francisco to get out now in light of the fact that their lives relies upon it. After Beam and Emma get the vehicle, they drive till they meet an old couple who cautions them to stop. Atissa now opens San Andreas shortcoming, delivering the street blocked. They drive back to the old couple's home. The couple ends up claiming a plane which Beam trades for the taken vehicle. Beam and Emma figure out how to fly the plane to San Francisco. While on the plane, Beam recaps what occurred with their girl, Mallory, who kicked the bucket in a boating mishap. Beam laments he was unable to save his little girl. This a basic explanation. Emma needs a separation. Then they fly to San Francisco. Blake, Ben and Ollie stroll through the packed roads to Koi Pinnacle, the settled-on gathering place. Nonetheless, it is as of now immersed on fire, so they change the arrangement by going to the most elevated ground, which is Knob Slope, to flag Blake's loved ones. Beam and Emma come to San Francisco, however they can't set down the plane on the grounds that the air terminal has a great deal of brakes and dissipated planes. Beam and Emma must choose the option to sky plunge into the arena, passing on the plane to collide with the Pacific Sea when it runs out of fuel. In the interim, Blake, Ben and Ollie are strolling through the abandoned road when the solid quake hits. The seismic tremor estimates 9.6, the biggest kept ever. Blake and Ollie rapidly get to the side of the road. However, Ben goes to the contrary side. The glass shards, coming from the structure, cuts Ben's leg. The excess actually standing designs are obliterated, the ground cracks, engineered overpasses disintegrate, and so forth. Simultaneously, Beam figures out how to tell others individuals to move to somewhere safe and secure on the opposite side of the arena as the construction crashes down. After the tremor, Blake cautiously eliminates the glass shard from Ben's leg, and afterward they move to the most noteworthy ground. Beam and Emma drive a boat to the city where they see Koi Pinnacle is ablaze. Beam realizes that Blake has headed off to someplace else. They notice that the water is subsiding rapidly, and that implies a wave is going to raise a ruckus around town. As the triplet gets the tidal wave cautioning from the radio, it is past the point of no return for them to make a beeline for the most elevated ground. In this way, the threesome rapidly heads to Daniel's incomplete structure. Beam and Emma, in the boat, figure out how to crash into the monster tsunami. They come to the top not long before the wave peaks, however they are nearly hit by a freight transport that is conveyed along by the tsunami. Daniel is on the brilliant entryway scaffold when the wave strikes. He is squashed by a falling steel trailer from the toppled freight transport. The freight transport cuts the brilliant entryway extension into equal parts and the tsunami keeps on hustling towards the city. Tragically, the vast majority of individuals on the ground are cleared away by water and flotsam and jetsam. The threesome is now in the structure when the tsunami hits. Beam and Emma drive the boat through the crushed town searching for Blake. Blake and Ollie sees her folks riding in the boat, however they don't see Blake. Ollie then, at that point, utilizes the laser pointer that he got from the hardware store to stand out for Blake's folks. Presently the Guardians see them, yet before they can save them, the structure begins to sink into the ground. Blake is isolated from the two siblings as they make it up to the following floor. Blake is currently caught inside as the water keeps on rising. Beam figures out how to get to his little girl, yet presently the ways out are stuck. Blake then, at that point, appears to have suffocated and Beam battles to get her body out. As the structure will implode, Emma crashes through the window in the boat and they rapidly get out as the structure at last falls. When outside, Beam proceeds to attempt and afterward effectively restores Blake, rejoined with her loved ones. The two young men are likewise saved. Afterward, the five come to somewhere safe and secure in Marin region. The family alongside Ben and Ollie watch the nightfall on the obliterated and revolutionary